Welcome back, everybody, to the show. I am your host, as always, Jay Villain, aka thatvillainjay, and tonight we have a very special treat for you. Yes, we do. Because today, joining us, as always, is the numbest of skulls. Numbskull,
hey guys.
We are here on your Black Council podcast episode. We are finally doing our Edge of Eternities right now.
Finally edging.
Oh my goodness, we are edging so hard for those eternities. We've been edging for an eternity, frankly.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So if you're also edging your eternities, make sure to like the video, leave a comment, tell us what you think. This will be live premiered and, of course, just be on our channel. Welcome to our patrons and everyone else who may be new here. We're going to be rating our top 10, technically top 11, cards of the new Edge of Eternity set. We're going to be discussing the themes of the set, a couple of other topics. We're going to be going over it all tonight, giving you our analysis and thoughts and ideas of what is going on with the Edge of Eternities. First things first, though, our patrons.
Yes.
Numbskull, tell them what they can get for our Patreon. What do we? This is completely Patreon-supported endeavor we have right here.
Absolutely. Yep. So our patrons help keep the lights on, so to speak, and we're very grateful for you. And you can become a patron too for as little as $1 a month, or $1 an episode, whatever you prefer.
Flexible payments.
Flexible payment, absolutely. And feel free to give us more. We're not going to say no. But basically, you're going to get early access to each episode that we release. You'll get access to patrons, our patrons only Discord, where you can, as long as you're an active patron in the Patreon, you are in the Discord. Equally, we do post exclusive content to our Patreon, so you would be able to have access to that as well. Jay and I always like to say, for $1 a month, we like to think that all of that is worth it. We tend to do at least one episode a month. There might be 1 or 2 months out of the year where we don't do an episode, but in turn, you are not charged if we don't release one.
You get charged every time that we put up an episode. If we don't do any, and we usually do 2 a month. We do special deck videos, lore videos, special guests, all kind of fun stuff there.
Yeah, and especially now with the enhanced set release schedule.
Oh yeah, we're putting out.
We can't be as lazy as we used to be.
We have to do. We're on our 4th set review this year, and we have 2 more to go.
Yeah, let's put it.
We have Avatar and Spider-Man coming up. So
that's so crazy, man.
Yeah, Spider-Man's in 60 days, by the way. So we want to give out a thank you to our patrons. I'll read them off right here. You also get your name read in the video, in the credits. So Shane here, Neptune, Mez Undead, VG, Zyran, Jason Flood, Just the One, Larry Mitchell, Jay Langford, Metal Mechanic, Notorious D, Deadfast, Argent Icon, Lars Van Breems, The Great Xylo Beast, Jamel Langford, Trexodactyl, Lord Gypticus, the Flipticus, Mamulian, Nickelnuts, Ulfir, Zaveritz, the Favorites, and Clever Sound.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you to our patrons. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We really do appreciate it. And you can go right down there. The links are going to be all over the place in case you want to join and all that stuff there. So, we got it. We're an eternity. Edging. It's here. We're doing Edge of Eternities. Here's the number one thing that I wanted to talk to before we get to the top 10. We're going to discuss. We're going to go over some. I feel like every set, Numbskull. This is just me. Mm-hmm. Every set, there's some sort of controversy and there's some sort of discourse about the set. Yeah. We never have a set. I think Tarkir is the only one that came out. There was no discourse about it. It just was like, here's a Magic set, and we were just like, okay. But Final Fantasy, discourse. AetherHub, Aetherdrift, discourse. This one, discourse. Mm-hmm. Science fiction / science fantasy seeming set. We have spaceships, space stations, aliens, planets, black holes, very galactic outer space fantasy theme more than hard sci-fi theming. And I've seen people giving up hot takes. I don't like this set because Magic is about fantasies and castles and knights and dragons and why am I running spaceships? This is stupid. This doesn't fit thematically with Magic. It doesn't feel like Magic. It's another hat set. It's just Magic in space helmets. This is stupid. And I am kind of blown away by this. I feel like these people were not playing in the 90s where we had power armor and mech robots and, you know, all kind of insane nonsense.
Yeah.
I just feel like Magic has been everything for the longest time, and people, I think, have a very narrow view. Like, they think Magic is Dominaria, and that's it. Or, like, Magic is Ravnica. It should be a fantasy city with taverns and knights and rogues, and that's what it is. Like, it's D&D.
Yeah.
And Magic has always kind of been everything. But what is your feeling about the science fiction pastiche?
Oh, I like that word. Well,
Pastiche.
big thing for me is that you, well, they already told you that they needed to expand their horizons, if you will, by bringing in the universes beyond stuff. So I think things like this are to be expected as we try to keep this going and have it not be stale. You do run the risk of things being stale if you constantly go for the thing that, Jay, you said everyone is looking for, which is the, you know, that planar kind of one-dimensionally focused on that. Whereas you have this entire untapped realm, if you will, of space, you know. And like you were saying, there are things that allude to space, and I think, if you ask me, some of the Phyrexians could kind of be like akin to aliens.
Yes, the Phyrexians are very alien, and they do invade from another dimension.
Yeah, so it's kind of like I think what Magic has always done is they've just left it open.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it, because they never lock themselves out of tapping into something. And that's something that you have to do if you want to have a game that lasts for decades and decades and decades. That's, you know, almost as old as me, literally 1 year younger than me, this whole game. If you want to keep it going past the 30 years, these are the types of things you have to do. And, you know, it would be one thing if people were saying that and I looked at all the cards from this set and I'm like, dude, these cards suck.
Yeah.
You know, like if we weren't excited for the set and other people weren't excited for the set, and I get it, like, it's kind of hard to follow up Final Fantasy, you know.
Final Fantasy
it's not gonna,
was...
Yeah, it's not going to be the best set ever, like, well, at least selling-wise, like Final Fantasy. It's not going to be like that, but it's going to be good, you know. I think the set's going to be good. And because of that, I think that's why you can't discount the space idea, you know?
Yeah. So, probably, I think Magic did very much start as a fantasy. I think that probably during the invasion block, to me, that's when it went off the rails.
Okay.
I mean, even looking at Brothers War, like, if you want to know what the invasion block was like, you look at Brothers War, there was, like, all those mechanical armies, you know, and automatons and gigantic airships and battles. There was a lot of, I guess, artifice, high technology. I don't think that this has ever been Game of Thrones where it's just dudes with swords. Like,
you
know, the Brothers War was about, like you said, the Phyrexians very much read like an assimilator species, like the Borg or the Flood,
or like Predator almost.
Yeah,
or something like that,
you know, or even the Xenomorphs. Yeah, there's this black goo that infects you and it takes you over. It's always had that general kind of very, in my opinion, it's always leaned into a bit of the fantastic. I know this is going full fantastic. But I have no problem with it. I'm interested to hear people about saying, I don't like it, but I really don't think... I feel like this has roots in Magic's history. I don't feel like we're we're treading new ground, but it's not that new. This is not like an unprecedented... you know, I feel like if you were reading... It's not like Lord of the Rings where he's like, well, the next book takes place on the moon. That would be weird, because it's never... you know...
Yeah.
And that would be a dramatic change. In addition to the other thing is, we talk about Final Fantasy. First of all, Final Fantasy crashed the Arena client.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
That's how popular Final Fantasy
at first
was.
it did. Yeah.
Too many logins on the day it released. You couldn't play Final Fantasy online because it broke the all-time Steam concurrent for Magic players. It was the best-selling Magic of all time. Universes Beyond is here to stay. If that keeps happening, it's here to stay. It's now in the DNA of Magic. We're never getting rid of it at that point.
Yeah.
And I've heard people say, well, I don't like Universes Beyond. How come we can't have original stories and take place in the Magic universe? And then I feel like Magic was like, okay, well, here's a space fantasy that takes place in the Magic universe using our lore. And then people turn around and were like, well, that's stupid too.
Yeah, it kind of goes along with the thing that, like, no matter what product you put out, there's going to be a demographic that's not happy with it. Just always the part of it, of anything, any type of anything that could be consumed that you put out. There's always a guarantee that someone or something won't like it. Another thing that I think is another almost illusion, like you were saying, with like the high technology artifacts, but it was in the Brothers War time, which Brothers War always felt to me like, on the people side of things, was like more of a primitive time, if you will. So you have the high technology and high operating artifact stuff that's clearly ahead of its time. And a lot of times when we have that in history, like for humans, like think of like the pyramids, maybe like the Mayans and some of their like their weather predictions, their sun dials, and their things like that.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff, that the knowledge and the technology, if you will, if you want to call it technology, has actually been sometimes it's a conspiracy theory, but to a degree, it's actually been attributed to extraterrestrial intervention.
Yeah.
So, they've literally made an allusion to it in the lore from sets that people think to be truly what Magic is in Brothers War and things like that.
Well, there's always that kind of ancient history uncovered, like when we had a lot of... We're talking about the Eldrazi being an ancient enemy, the Fomori, which we haven't discovered yet, which left a bunch of high-powered advanced artifacts, like we had the vault from OTJ, where it was a Fomori vault filled with all kind of weird shit.
Yeah, like you don't think the Eldrazi kind of look like aliens, dude?
Yeah.
Like, what are we... You know what I mean? It's like they've kind of hinted at it for a while, and like, what does Emrakul actually look like to you if he doesn't look like some kind of like space?
And that's where he's from. She's from the Edge of Eternities.
Yeah, so that's where I think they've done enough for this to be considered tasteful. I get it if you don't like Eldrazi's and you don't like playing against them, it's not a fun thing to play against. I get that.
Yeah.
But in regards to like possibly being off-brand, I don't think that there's a good enough argument for it. I can get just flat out not being into it as a concept, but for me it's always, I'm not as big on the lore. I'm more about the cards and playing the game. So I'm just like, okay, what cards am I going to put in my mono black deck? That's how I approach it.
Yeah. And that's the thing. The Blind Eternities have been there forever, which is the space between the planes. It basically kind of served as outer space for a while, and so this is the calm part of the edge of the Eternities, which is the edge. That's why it's called that for the lore.
Okay.
So that's your crash course. When you planeswalk, you jump through the Blind Eternities. You're basically making a warp jump through the Blind Eternities. You end up somewhere else.
So this has always been part of the planes.
This has always been part
in a sense.
The Eternities has been talked about for 30 years, probably 25 years, maybe.
So maybe if you don't like it, you just need to read more lore.
You got to read
like
more
Jay
lore.
did.
And
maybe that's your problem.
I think that you're 100% right in your assessment of, you can personally not like the pastiche, but saying it doesn't belong in Magic is just doesn't make any sense. Yeah,
that's just kind of where I'm at. It's like, and I always look at it, it's like I don't necessarily know that I am educated enough lore wise to speak on it in that regard, but I just look at what I know they've done and does it make sense? And if I have anything in the last however long I've known about it that makes sense, then I say, okay, fine, they did it. Let's go for it. So I haven't personally heard anybody have a huge issue with it. I know it's different. I'll give you that.
I've heard it. There's a few people griping and grumbling, but
yeah, okay.
I just thought it was funny because it looks like no matter what set they do, no one's happy. So
like you said, just Tarkir, because that was already a beloved set. So it's, that was a gimme. That was too easy. Yeah.
So we're edging with our top 10 right now. We're almost there. We're gonna get to. We're gonna go for it. We've looked at a lot of these cards. We analyzed this a long time. Numbskull came to me with like a list of like 20 cards, and then he said, "Hold on, I'm not done yet. Let me add some more on here. I'm not finished."
And then Jay was like, "Okay, but can you pick 5 of them?"
I was like, "Okay, that's great. I'm glad you like all these cards. You've gotta cut some of these. It's not the top 20." So he's pretty excited because there's a lot of stuff he likes here. So I am going to magnanimously let him go first and tell us his first top 10 card. We're going to do the top 10 now. Tell us yours, guys. Get into the chat, get into the comments. Tell us what you're excited for, if anything. And here we go. Away we go with the Edge of Eternity's top 10.
Yeah, let us know in the comments the cards that you like, what cards you're edging to, all that stuff. For my number 5. This one's really cool, and I think that it's like overlooked, and I think that we're going to have ways to make it really nice in standard and other formats, which is part of the reason that I have to include it. This is Temporal Intervention. So it's 2 colorless and 1 black. It's a sorcery. It's a common at that. Excuse me. So it has Void. And I think this is a good card to start with, so we can introduce this new mechanic that I think is a great mechanic. And I think it's a constructed playable mechanic, and I think you can center, maybe not center a deck building around it, but you can center your synergies around it, maybe something like that. So it has Void. Void says if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn, or a spell was warped this turn, do X, or X happens, whatever.
And this is a new mechanic from Edge, by the way.
Yeah, this is an Edge mechanic. So this one says, Void, this spell costs 2 less to cast if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn, or a spell was warped this turn. So when you read that, or you hear it, you think of Revolt, maybe, with like Fatal Push if a permanent left the battlefield under your control this turn. So it is a little bit different, because Revolt requires it to be under your control, whereas with Void, it can just be period. So that's actually easier to trigger, in my opinion. You can also warp stuff. There's stuff you can warp for 1 mana. So basically, I'm going to read the next part, and then I'm going to tell you what this card actually is. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. So that is the literal text from Thoughtseize. What I want you to understand is this card is Thoughtseize. It's standard Thoughtseize. And you can warp something for 1 mana. You can play it after combat, so
like you said, you can sacrifice a treasure token.
Yeah, initially I was saying you could sacrifice a treasure for mana, so you do it for 1 black mana, left the battlefield, Void is triggered, I have the black mana from the treasure token, I Thoughtseize you. So
you can, what'd you say also, a fetch land, any fetch land?
Yeah, so it's fetch lands that now in standard I don't think we have fetches where they can come in untapped, unfortunately. At least not like turn 1.
Not turn 1. We have Fabled Passage.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah. So you have Fabled Passage. So that would be like a turn 4 Thoughtseize, or if you have like Spelunking out, which is not gonna rotate? Question mark.
Spelunking should be there because that's from Caverns.
Okay. So technically Spelunking could do it. So that's like a turn 3. So like you have ways to make this easy, and we have other things in the format. Now they're not just straight up going to give you Thoughtseize anymore, because I'm pretty sure someone told me last time it was there, it was like banned or something, or it was just a big problem.
Everyone hates Thoughtseize. People don't like duress.
Yeah, yeah. And they don't like Cruel Claw's Heist, which is basically 2 mana Thoughtseize.
Yeah.
So this is I think this is great, and I think that there's enough ways to make this cost 1 mana, both in Standard, Pioneer, and Modern, to the point where this is good. It actually makes it so like because it was kind of a problem in Standard or in Modern. Okay, I play my fetch land, I pay 1 life, I go get my shock land, I pay 2 life to bring it in untapped. Now I'm at 17. Now I Thoughtseize. Now I'm at 15 on turn 1. Turn 1, I lose 5 life just to. Granted, I get your best card; it's important.
Yeah.
But I lost 25% of my life on the first turn of the game. It's it can be taxing at times, and it can limit what you want to do. So, in turn, this actually would effectively let you lose 2 less life and still do the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think in Modern this card could be crazy. And I think same with Pioneer. I think Pioneer that this could let us do fun stuff too. So I'm happy with it.
And I will say, as a closing thought, Thoughtseize, Mono Black discard is back in Standard as the Standard player. It's probably one of the most popular Mono Blacks. Mono Black discard and just a shitload of discards and a shitload of removal is probably the top Black deck right now. Anytime giving them more tools is going to be dangerous. And I think also, I'll leave it at this, there's subtle foreshadowing to some other cards that are coming up.
Oh, yeah. That's true. That's true. Definitely, we kind of picked the archetype that we think is going to go off a little bit.
Subtle foreshadowing, maybe you can figure it out if you know what maybe our top pick is. My turn. My number 1. I'm going to go green on this.
For 5, right?
For my 5. Oh, yeah, my first one. Not my number 1, but my number 5 first pick. Frenzied Baloth. Just because I am Blue's number 1 hater. I get up extra early in the morning to hate on Blue.
Yeah.
Frenzied Baloth is one of the rare green haste cards. 2 green, 3/2. This spell cannot be countered. Trample and haste. Creatures you control cannot be countered. Combat damage cannot be prevented. I like how much this card says can't on it.
Yeah.
This card says can't 3 times. This is one of the worst, and I've made mono green blue hunters. I've made mono green control hunters where I specifically go after control decks. This is brutal. This is, if you're running blue control or even really like Azorius control, this is awful. You can't prevent damage, you can't counter this, you can't counter any other creatures, and it flies at you for 2 mana with trample and haste. First of all, a 3/2 trample haste for 2 is already good.
Yeah. In green, yeah.
Yeah, it's a very, very good card already. With all this other crap packed on top of it, it is a very, very tough problem that even knockback isn't going to fix, because even if you're playing knockback against it, it's got
cheap.
haste. It's too cheap and it's got haste.
Yeah.
So there is not a lot of control answers for this just from outright killing it. Obviously, if you just kill it, you kill it, but also damage can't be prevented. So I think protection from doesn't work because protection says prevent all damage, correct?
Ah, cool, yeah.
So
that would get into some layers, but I think you're right if that was played after the thing, or I don't know, something like that. But yeah, that's
believe
cool.
if MTG rules on protection is target creature gains protection from, the rule means that all damage is prevented, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
All such damage is prevented. Yeah. So it kind of removes a little bit of protection from that. It does a little bit of nonsense. It's a very silly card that is just going to hate on blue as hard as it can, which is kind of funny because it's crashing through ice. That's kind of the ironic joke of it, is that ice
so it's anti-blue.
It's anti-blue, yeah. It's crashing through a bunch of blue ice here.
I like that. I think, I mean, I kind of like maybe first thought said, oh, that's a sick sideboard card, but then I think the fact that it has haste, it might just be main deck, you know? I think it's just a main deck card at that point.
It works
if you play mono green.
Mono green, you can put it in Gruul. Frankly, right now I've seen a lot of Gruul. I've seen Gruul Delirium aggro come back.
Yeah, the Delirium's good.
I think multicolor aggro is probably coming up, but even in a landfall stompy, I think it fits just about anywhere. For 2 green, I don't feel like it's prohibitively expensive. I think you're fine.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, totally agree. I think it's solid, and it's good enough stat-wise on its own where it's not, like, underpowered if they're not countering stuff, you know?
And most importantly, fucks over control players.
Yeah, it's great. So I'm actually going to go along with that Gruul action here with my next card. We've got Biotech Specialist. So this one's cool, and we were talking about space stuff. Artifacts are heavily involved because of it. So there are a lot of artifacts in this set. That's for damn sure. So this guy, he is a red and a green for the mana cost. He's an insect scientist. He is a rare, but not legendary, and he's a 1/3. When he enters, you get a lander token, and if you don't know what a lander token is, it's an artifact that you pay 2 mana and tap it. You sack it, you go get a basic land, put it on the battlefield, tap, shuffle your library. Now, that's like kind of decent value on its own there, especially if you're ramping. But he also does other stuff. Whenever you sacrifice an artifact, this creature deals 2 damage to target opponent. So he's like, has his ability triggering built into his ETB effect, basically. But, you run it with other artifacts, other lander stuff, treasure tokens, food tokens. There are a couple creatures now that are going to be in standard that make all of your creatures food tokens. So that's a thing. So even if you're not paying the 2 mana to sacrifice the food tokens, there are creatures that let you sacrifice other creatures. There's one guy who's like sacrifice a creature or artifact, I think Surveil 1, if I'm not mistaken.
And
he's
I also
a black card.
If I remember correctly, there's a red card now that's just lets you feed as much artifacts as you want to it. It's like X or something, isn't there?
That's possible.
There's
I wouldn't be surprised
vicious,
if there was.
It's like called like ammunition onslaught or some shit like that, and it's just like sacrifice X artifacts.
Yeah, so there you go. So you could cast that, sack all your sacrifice all your artifacts. Actually, kind of want to look that up.
I'll look it up. Keep going.
I think that's incredibly relevant. And then, I think you're just setting up combos for shenanigans. And then at the very least, your deck could just be like ramping to something anyway. So like, I think you just have, you have options to do something cool with this guy. And I think other formats, they could see this going crazy too. Because I think there's also, what is it? I think it's Brood Scale combo in Modern. You sacrifice all of your 0/1 Eldrazi spawn tokens, and they all do 1 damage, and you just make a shitload of them and sack them all. So he would play into that, because I believe they're artifacts. I'd have to check on that. If they're not, then fine, but if they are, then it would be 3 damage for each one, so you would be able to kill someone very quickly with that. So I think he's in another one where he sees play in multiple formats, and I think that's why we gotta put him in here.
So yeah, there's Memorial Vault, which is tap, sacrifice an artifact. Every turn you can just use that. There's also the Devastating Onslaught, which is create X tokens of an artifact or creature that you control, and then they all get sacrificed until the end of turn.
Okay.
So you could have that out. Have one robot, make 7 copies of it, swing in, or not even swing in, but then just let them all die, and it would do 14 points of damage because all 2 of them would explode. So there's a lot of really weird things that you can do with this.
And like I was saying with that, he is a card that also has built-in ramp, so you could be ramping into something like that Devastating Onslaught Jay was talking about. Yeah. And then on your end step, it's just a fireball and it kills your opponent.
And just having him be there for to hit landfall off of your landfall aggro decks, which are very popular right now.
So he has that built in, and then he can be that combo piece in the late game if you want to do it that way. So I think based on that, he's got to be good.
I think so. I like him. I'm definitely gonna. I like insect decks. I think I'm gonna put him in some Gruul Artifact.
Yeah, sounds cool.
So my next one, we're taking a dark turn. A dark turn. And
Let's
it
do
has
it.
an awesome name, which is Requiem Monolith.
Yes.
Requiem Monolith, which is a sick name. 1 black and 2. I don't know. Have you seen the weird combo you can do with this? I'll tell you about it.
Yeah, tell me about it, because I know you said you're going to explain it. Yeah, now I want to hear it.
So this is very weird. It took me a minute to get my mind around this. Until the end of turn, you tap it. It's 1 black and 2. It's an artifact. Until the end of turn, target creature gains. It gets this text on it. Quote, when this creature is dealt damage, you draw that many cards and you lose that much life. So it is a very good black card draw engine. Obviously, power at any cost is black's theme. So if you have you're going in with a 3/3 and it gets hit for 3, you draw 3 cards and lose 3 life, which is acceptable. I'm fine with that. 1-for-1 card loss to life gain is pretty good.
Agreed.
However, after that creature gains that text. Then that creature's controller may have this artifact deal 1 damage to it, activate only as a sorcery. So you can, by default, ping your own creature, add that text to the creature, and then ping it for 1. So you deal 1 damage to your own creature, draw a card, and lose 1 life.
Yeah.
So every turn you could theoretically draw a card and lose 1 life. And if the creature is 1 toughness, it would die. So you would trigger death effects off on it. So, like, if you had, like, a Greedy Freebooter, you would do it Greedy Freebooter, you would get a treasure token, draw a card, lose 1 life, and scry 1.
Yes.
Which is a lot.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Don't forget, you have cards that reflect damage, like Barbed Servitor and, of course, Screaming Mimi, a.k.a. Screaming Nemesis, where you can just ping for itself 1 time and then immediately turn their life gain off for the rest of the game.
That is relevant.
So there is a lot of fun things. It's very useful continual card draw for black on 3. Potential sacrifice outlet, card draw. But let me tell you the thing that people aren't thinking about, which I saw, which is you can do this to any creature. Okay? You can do it to your opponent's creatures. You can add that ability so that whenever it takes damage... So if somebody is going in and they're like, oh, I'm going to attack... you say, oh, I'm attacking with my... whatever. I'm attacking with my 9/9. They say, well, I'm going to block with this. I say, well, I put that on your creature. When it hits, you take 9 damage and draw 9 cards.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that. I was swinging with my freaking Volgavoth.
Yeah, and if they chump block, you say, all right, well, guess what? I'm pinging it. Whenever it hits you, it's going to take that much damage as well. You're going to reflect that damage. So that's pretty silly as well. Let me tell you an instant win combo. Dawnsire, the Sunstar Dreadnought. 2020 spacecraft. It has a Station 10 ability. You need to station at 10. Whenever you attack Dawnstar Dreadnought, deals 100 damage to 1 target creature.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
So you ping it.
So you could tap this.
You attack and use the Death Star Ray on one of their creatures. Your opponent takes 100 damage and draws 100 cards.
Even a commander kill, huh?
Even a commander kill.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's pretty ridiculous. So, it is a very sneaky, devious, terrible tool that can be used to your disadvantage. I love black cards that weaponize card draw and life loss. Yeah, so it is a very sneaky tool, and I think that people are going to come up with some really good stuff with it. And again, being able to suddenly say, hey, whenever that creature... I know you can do it as a sorcery, but being able to kind of say... oh, by the way, you're 1 blocker, you're going to take damage and draw cards if you block with him, and I'm attacking for 12.
Yeah.
You know, it's not good.
Yeah. Right. It's unfortunate that Shoulder's going to rotate, because if you can make him draw the card with Shoulder too, that would be even more.
You could put the Razorkin, which deals 1 damage whenever they draw a card. You could also
there's that artifact now too, right?
Yeah,
that
the scrawling Karl, or whenever your opponent draws a card, they lose 1 life. So there's a lot of abilities you could stack up with Requiem Monolith. I think it's very sneaky.
other formats there's that kind of stuff too. Modern will have the Orcish Bowmasters.
Exactly.
So that goes crazy, you know. So there's stuff.
There's a lot of things there's a lot of terrible things you can do with Requiem. I think it's fun. I think the Death Star combo is going to be really interesting. I'm going to try to pull that off with an early access to Death Star somebody. So we're going to see about that.
Yeah, I like it also with you know, the like burn together ability. If you have the thing that punishes them for drawing cards. I could also maybe see it in like you know, another cool deck like Doomsday Excruciator. Okay, I attack him with my Doomsday Excruciator, and maybe you have to block it.
And you're going to draw a lot of cards if you do.
You draw the 6 cards, and you only have 6 cards left.
Yeah.
So then on your turn, you just die.
Yeah, it could also be used in you could put it in a Dimir mill.
Like mill and stuff. Yeah, so I think there's cool things.
There's uses for
I think it's flexible, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, very, very exciting. I like it a lot.
Speaking of Pain for All.
Ooh. I was just thinking, I was literally going to say, oh, there's another card that goes for it, and that card is actually called Pain for All, which I believe, yeah, I mean, you could make this happen with the last card too. So Pain for All.
That's your number 3.
It's my number 3, yes sir. So 2 colorless and a red. It's an enchantment and it's a rare. Enchant creature you control, so it does have to be on one of yours. When it enters, enchanted creature deals damage equal to its power to any other target. And then whenever enchanted creature is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to each opponent. So it's pretty crazy. Kind of like gives red some of that power back that they lost from the all the bans and stuff. You know, and now, granted, it's 3 mana. So we're not getting these 1 mana pump everything to oblivion, kill you on turn 2 stuff. You know, we're not quite doing that still, which is why I think this card's reasonable and not like, you know, super broken. It gives me that what was it? Brash Taunter. The Goblin, the indestructible Goblin, kind of gives me like that vibe. Kind of looks like a goblin, I guess. I don't know what kind of creature that is, but
it's a Kavu.
It's a Kavu. Okay, I was going to ask if that was Kavu or yeah. Okay, so that's fine. So damage to its power equal to its power to any other target. So you could use that as removal, but then if you do the card draw thing, you could still make the other person also lose that much life. So you have all these little things you can do, and in red, I think it's good. And then, yeah, and then don't forget that dealing damage and then dealing that much, that's, you know, that's for however long it's on the board. So I think it makes it really good. I think maybe in like red mirrors, it's good. You know, like a really nice sideboard card where like, okay, well, your only way to kill me is damage-based removal. So, you know, or even like green, like fight spells, it's still dealing damage, you know. So it's saying, okay, whatever you do to my creature, you're going to take that. So, and it's also each opponent, which, you know, makes it a fun commander thing too. So I think this card's awesome. I think that type of ability is just really has always been fun in Magic. Well, I mean, I'm glad we're getting more of it. I still think the Screaming Nemesis is a little much with the can't gain life stuff. But I do like the, you know, deal whatever it's dealt. You know, it
turns everyone into a Screaming Mimi. So you can essentially put 4 Screaming Nemesises in your deck, which is bad. It's dangerous. It makes blocking and killing things, if you don't have direct kill, if you only have like burn or fight spells, or you have no options but to block, it makes it very dicey. Yeah.
Let's not forget that the creature is dealing the damage. So if your creature has lifelink, you're going to gain all that life too.
This is true.
Just saying. That's where that Boros combo with like Ill-Tempered Loner, that's where that went so crazy. Because you would be hitting them for like 30 and then you would gain 30, you know?
Don't forget also that if the creature has Death Touch and you ping it for 1 and then ping somebody else with that 1, it also has Death Touch.
Oh, I see. So it could kill any other creature.
Mm-hmm. If it got 1 point of damage was dealt off of it, it would do to any other creature would kill them.
I see. So it looks like the damage that on the second part goes to the opponent, but when it enters, that is any
enters,
target.
Yeah. Any target.
But still, you put it on a 1/1 death touch creature. You're right. It's effectively removal, kill anything.
It's a kill anything. So
yeah. So that is cool. Yeah. So that could be used in green. So if you're playing like Gruul, because I think mostly green and black creatures have death touch, right? That's typically like the ones that'll have it. I don't see many. I don't know if I ever saw a red one that had death touch, or a white one, or blue, whatever. But yeah, so that's. I think it's just really cool. Very happy with how this card is designed. I think it also makes it good in draft, because draft is like already not a blocking format. So it's like now you really can't block. But if I have this big creature that's going to kill you, like you kind of have to. So it's almost like it has like pseudo trample in a way because of the still dealing damage stuff. So I think this card's really good in constructed, really good in draft, and constructed you could do some combos with it for sure.
Yeah, it's a fun one, definitely. That was also on my short list, and that one went to Numbskull called it first. So
good card.
Very good card.
Yeah.
All right, so on to my next one. And we're getting a little bit holy up in here.
Oh.
Yeah. Astelli Reclaimer. If you've known me, you know that I love angels. I love angel decks. I love angel cards. This is the Astelli Reclaimer. First of all, the lore about the Astelli is sick. They're made out of stars. That's why they look like that.
Okay.
When a star collapses, it creates an Astelli, which is like the soul of the star. Yeah, they're like a celestial angel thing that's cool. Made out of the soul of a star, which is pretty fucking sick. 2 white and 3. This is a 5-drop. 5/4 flying angel warrior. In current standard, especially when you have Giada, you can get it down in turn 4. What is interesting about this one is it has some built-in reanimator, and it also has the new card ability called Warp. It warps in for 1 white and 2, meaning that you can put it down on turn 3, warp it in, and then it goes away. Why would you want to warp this card in? Well, it's because of its main text box. Whenever this creature enters, return target non-creature, non-land permanent you control with a mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast this creature. This lets you bring back an artifact or an enchantment for free very quickly. Now, what I'm thinking in mono white is basically lets you reanimate which is probably one of the most brutal things you can do, lets you either reanimate a very powerful enchantment or just bring back your Sheltered by Ghosts.
Sheltered, they're reprinting Banishing Light.
Light, Hard Light Containment, Sheltered by Ghosts. There are so many good enchantments in white right now, and artifacts in white right now, that's ridiculous how many there are that you're basically getting 2 cards for free, and the fact that you can warp it in and then bring it back later on, then you can ramp it out, and it's a 5/4. I'm sold on it, and it's not realistic. It's not limited to white. You can bring back whatever you want. You could bring back a freaking, if they made you discard, if they turn 1 to rest you and hit your fucking, they hit your Unholy Annex, you can just play that. You can bring it back.
Well, I think that card by default has a mana value of 8. Unfortunately.
Oh, does it? Oh.
Unfortunately. I get what I think. All of the rooms, it's the total
they open separately
until it's unlocked.
That's stupid. Anyways.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I do know. I know what you're getting at. Like, there's a lot of shit you can do.
Your cauldron. You want your cauldron back. I know everyone plays cauldron.
Yeah.
You know, people are playing.
Not to mention, when you warp it, it gets haste, right? So you're like 5 damage, get a 3 mana permanent back, and cast it later.
Yeah. You could fly.
That's also just like really nice.
Yeah, it warps really fast, and then it's able to be played later on with all the other angels.
And it's protected from being exiled from the graveyard because the spell itself is exiled to be played at a later time.
Exactly. So you always have this.
So I
kind
think
of,
warp's good too.
It's a very good card. It's probably, in my opinion, it's probably the best Angel. There's a lot of good ones out there. It was hard to pick the best one, but I think this is going to be the one that's going to be the biggest problem. Being able to resurrect, reanimate any kind of enchantment or artifact out of there is...
Well, it's non-creature, so you can get your, who's the planeswalker that we're all annoyed by in mono white every time? Why am I forgetting her name? There's a 4-mana and a 5-mana one.
I can't remember.
Elspeth.
Oh, Elspeth. Yeah, you get your 3-drop Elspeth out. Yeah.
Well, your 4 or 5-mana Elspeth.
Yeah.
Bring it back. Oh, you dealt with my Elspeth? Here's this Angel that's going to kill you in 2 turns. Yeah. And here's my Elspeth.
No, yeah. It's ridiculous to play 5 mana and get something out of your graveyard with 5 mana and still end up with a 5/4 flying creature and also have a 5-drop a 5-drop back onto the battlefield. It's absurdly leveled.
I would say it's 9 mana, maybe 8 mana worth of value.
Yeah. It's
about 8 mana worth in 5 mana, so it's good value.
It's good value. It's good value, and if you're synchronizing it with all your other angels, you put it with Lyra Dawnbringer, it's going to have +1 in lifelink. You know, you're going to do a lot of different things with it. There's a lot of different ways you can go with it and make it even more powerful.
Resplendent Angel now, and that's evergreen in standard at this point.
Resplendent Angel, there's and of course, like I said, it's easier to cast with Giada. She has 1 white mana.
Giada's also evergreen, right? Because it's Foundations.
Yeah, because she's Foundations going to be there for 5 years. Yep.
Yeah.
So
I don't mean like always, but I mean 5 years is a long time in standard.
Yeah, I know. She's not going to wait till 2029.
We'll effectively call it evergreen for now. But yeah, I think the card's great. Gives you that top end creature wise in mono white decks, which I think is cool. So yeah, maybe Angels will be coming back here soon. And I when there was a good Angels deck in standard, I didn't hate standard. Let me put it that way.
There's an you can do an Orzhov Angels right now with Sephiroth. I call it Blood Angels, and it's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Maybe.
But yeah.
I don't know if you know this. I have a YouTube channel. I put videos up on it.
Oh, dude, I gotta check out your YouTube.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. If you want to.
All right. Yeah, I'll probably like subscribe or something.
Whatever. Yeah, you don't have to. Anyways.
Not too much commitment, right?
No.
Okay. Well, damn, dude, we're on the number 2s already.
On the number 2s, we're flying through these.
Okay.
We're warping through them.
We're going warp speed, if you will. Okay, let me find them. Here we go. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I don't know if it's Tanuk or Tanuk. Steadfast second. He is a Kavu pilot, so another Kavu. A lot of Kavus here.
You were not around for Kavu time. That was back in the 90s, early 2000s. Yeah. There was Kavus on Dominaria.
So, 2 colorless, 2 red. He is a legendary guy, and he's a mythic. Other creatures you control have haste. We've seen that before. Pretty good.
An accelerator card. That's what I call him.
If you will, yes. So, I think there's a couple cards in red that kind of do that or have done that, so that's fine. Like solid card. But this is where it really gets crazy. Artifact cards and red creature cards in your hand have warp for the cost of 2 colorless and a red. So basically, you're casting it from your hand for the warp cost. You exile it at the beginning of the next end step, and then you may cast it from exile on a later turn. This creature is a 3/5, so it's not exactly designed to be your red creature that beats ass, but it is designed to be a crazy combo piece. It's another one where, like, oh man, it's unfortunate that it's rotation, because otherwise I could do like a 3-mana Portal to Phyrexia. Well,
Yeah.
But there's all kinds of crazy expensive artifacts that you could fire in here. So I think that's definitely relevant. And especially don't forget you're giving your stuff haste. So and obviously the first card I thought of was Atali. Now Atali is going to rotate, unfortunately. But like Jay was saying, there's other good red creatures that do crazy stuff. And to do it for 3 mana, I think it makes it worth it. You may start to play expensive red creatures that you never played before that have a crazy ETB, because now you can play it for 3 mana.
You want some good ridiculous options for it. Try Trumpeting Carnosaur that discovers 5.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. Yep. You get a Discover 5 for 3 mana. Outstanding.
You want to...
There you go. That's like your Itali replacement, we'll say, you know?
Drakaseth, Maw of Flames. He's a 7/7. Whenever he attacks, he does 4 damage to any target and 3 damage to each of 2 other targets.
Beautiful. Perfect. So I think there's options here, still in Standard, and they're going to print you more options. Don't worry about it. You're going to get more.
Yeah.
And if you don't like those, then just play some of these crazy artifacts that are in the format, you know?
Uh-huh.
I don't know, like obviously Portal of Phyrexia, I think, was the craziest big mana artifact. I don't know any others that were like as crazy as that with like a wild mana cost. Sire.
Sire's an Eldrazi. He's not an artifact.
Oh, okay. He's just colorless. Okay.
He's colorless, yeah.
I'm actually just pulling up Arena just to check like high mana cost artifacts real quick. But yeah, so this guy, I think based on that, like I think there's like enough options to make this crazy. So I think it's worth looking at for sure. Let's take a look here. I'm just gonna sort by artifacts and then
Darksteel Colossus if you want to be real classic.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. That's definitely an option. So we're going artifact 7 mana plus. That's what I'm gonna do here. So threefold Thunderhulk. When it enters or attacks, you're gonna make 3 1/1s with it. Meteor Golem, which is a ETB, destroy target non-land permanent, and it'll swing for 3. Iron Giant, Diamond Weapon. That's a fun one. That's just like an 8/8 reach. There's there's all kinds of stuff. Oh, that new one, the Valor's Flagship. That's a thing.
That's a good one.
So you could crew that and just have a huge creature. So I think there's stuff you can do here, you know. And obviously in other formats there's plenty of big artifacts.
Oh yeah.
There's like a Boros Hammer deck, and I think he could maybe go in that hammer deck in Modern. So that's a thing too.
For sure.
So yeah,
no,
we have a lot of options.
I love red accelerators. We have a 4-drop red accelerator, but I think the ability to just flash stuff in.
I think it's too good.
I think that in any kind of Discover deck or any ETB focused deck, you're gonna be making fucking biscuits off that. You're gonna be hitting hard.
Yeah, and you were right about Drakaseth. Who's another one here? Terror of Mount Velis. Gives your creatures double strike, 5/5 flying double strike. Yeah. So double strike and
double
haste
strike
for all your creatures. Yep. Double strike and haste your whole board. You know. Don't forget about this. Progenitus is a red creature.
It's a red creature. The 4-drop Progenitus.
Yeah. Oh, and here's one, Gishath.
Mm-hmm.
Gishath, Vigilance, Trample, Haste, 7/6 for 8 mana.
Oh yeah.
You get to put any number of dinosaur creature cards from among them onto the battlefield when it does damage to combat damage to a player. So 3 mana, get possibly
7 dinosaurs.
Yeah, possibly 7 dinosaurs, and deal 7 damage for 3 mana.
Insane.
So don't tell me this isn't good. I think it's good.
It is pretty good.
I think it's something, man. So yeah, so we're keeping an eye out. I think there's like good enough stuff in Standard for this to be something. Unfortunately, Atali's rotating, so it's okay.
No more Atali, but
we'll
survive. I think.
Actually, hold on. I wasn't even looking at the right format. Hang on, give me 1 second. There's more stuff. It was defaulted to Alchemy. Well, a lot of like I said, a lot of the stuff
Alchemy's
is
rotating. You want to look at in Alchemy.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Alchemy is, or a lot of the stuff that is available still is going to rotate. But like, there's a lot of cool prototype Brothers War stuff that would have been good, I think. But that's gone. But yeah, I think Progenitus is just the craziest thing I could think of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the cool thing is that it's not actually going to be put into a graveyard, so you could technically cast a Progenitus later.
Yeah, if you get 10 mana.
Which is so funny. But Gishath, what? That's Ixalan, so it's not rotating, right?
No.
There you go, man. Here's your Gishath dinosaur deck, and then
there you go.
Your Kavu gives all your dinosaurs haste.
There you go.
It might be crazy.
It might work.
So, anyway, I don't want to yap too much about that card, but I think there's just all. It gives me. It's one of those cards that gives you ideas.
Yes.
And the card that gets you thinking about. Yeah, the card that makes you think about, like, playing different stuff in Magic and making new decks. That is a card that I think is always good. The card that makes you want to make a deck. That's got to be a good card.
So, speaking of haste, because we like haste in this, haste is a big thing because of warp speed.
Haste is the place.
I'm going for a hasty guy who's a blast from the past.
Okay.
Who's very similar to an old card that was a mono black standard. I don't think that Numbskull built a deck without this guy in it.
Sure. Yep.
Timeline Color.
Yep.
Timeline Color is the new Tenacious Underdog. If you weren't around for Tenacious Underdog, you get your time now. Timeline Color, aside from having a sick name, he is a Drix Warlock that costs 2 black. He is a 2/2 haste. Love when black creatures have haste. You may cast this card from your graveyard using its warp ability. His warp is 1 black and 2 life. This card will literally never die unless it gets exiled. If it's in the graveyard, you can immediately pay 2 life and 1 black and swing in for 2 every time that it's there. After it goes away from that first hit, because it has haste, if it goes after that, sitting in that first hit, it goes into exile, and you can recast it from its. You can recast it for its full price, which is 2 black, and haste in again.
It still has haste.
You could also use this as sacrifice fodder over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Sephiroth decks or whatever have you, whatever you want. The fact that he's just basically eternal, he just keeps coming back. You could just keep paying life to keep putting him on the board and putting him in your graveyard and putting him on the board and putting him in exile and putting him in your graveyard. He is just always going to be jumping around, constantly being a threat. Having that, especially when people like to run board wipes and stuff like that, having something that in your back pocket, a 2/2 haster in your back pocket, and you just swing in and hit out of nowhere, just jump out of warp or out of the graveyard and just boom, is very bad.
Agreed.
Tenacious Underdog had this issue where you used to have to play more for the Blitz, where you could play it out of your graveyard. 2 life and 4, and people still paid that. People were more than happy to play 4 mana and 2 life to swing in with a 3/2 haste.
And draw that card. Drawing the card is what made it worth it, I think.
Yeah, you draw a card, Yeah. So this loses the card draw and a lot of the extra mana, but it is a very, very hard card to kill. You combine this with something else that has haste, like Bloodghast, and you are just ripping people up. You're just going to be hasting. They can't get a handle on them, because even if they kill them, they have to be exiled. And so if somebody doesn't have Graveyard Exile, or they don't have the right cards to get rid of this, they're just going to ping you. They're just going to always... Having that constant stream of cards, something like Timeline Color, that's always a threat, always sacrificable and retrievable, it just becomes a problem. I know cards like this, and they just fit in anywhere in mono black decks. And I think he's going to be a big hit. By the way, also added bonus, he's a warlock, so he's immune to shoot the sheriff.
Warm P.
Yep, warlock. Everyone forgets that warlock.
So that's nice. And speaking of that set and crime, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Forsaken Miner, where you pay the 1 to bring it back and do a crime.
Exactly.
It kind of has, it's like a mixture between the Underdog and the Forsaken Miner to a degree, but then having haste, whether he was recasted or regular casted, I think is great.
Yeah.
Because that was another thing about the Underdog is you'd cast him for 2, and then they'd kill him with like Cut Down or something, or like Shock, and then you don't get anything, and you got to wait till you have 4 mana to do anything again. Whereas with him, he's like, no, I'm going in right away, So I think he maybe that's a little bit of your power creep in between then and now. I think he's got to have haste to be good anymore, but I do think he's good. And we didn't really have a 2 mana, like, good, quote-unquote, creature for black other than like bat, but not every deck is a bat deck.
No.
And like you were saying, this guy could kind of fit in almost any of those because of the graveyard recursion. You don't have to really be a creature deck. You can just have this guy in the deck to just do stuff. I could see him being in with that. What is it? The snake that sacrifices everything.
Oh, yeah, the Viper.
It costs one less. Yeah, you know, swing in with this guy for 2, sack him to your Viper. You know, stuff like that. I think that's good too. I think so. Like you were saying, like some kind of sacrifice deck. I think we could see that working out too. So yeah, I think he's very good. Was that your number 3?
That was my number 2.
That was your oh damn. Wait.
So you only have one more left. You're at your number
Oh
one
yeah.
pick.
I did Tanic. Okay, sorry. I sorry. Lost my place.
Numbskull's number. We're an hour into it. It's almost time.
It's been a long day. So okay, here we go, guys. This is 0 Point Ballad. It is my number 1 card. Yes, it is a board wipe. No, you cannot sue me. It's X and 1 black. It's a sorcery. It is a rare. Destroy all creatures with toughness X or less. You lose X life. If X is 6 or more, return a creature card creature card put into a graveyard this way to the battlefield under your control. It gives me like Blood on the Snow vibes, like Meat Hook vibes. It gives me what's the other one? March of Wretched Sorrow gives me that kind of vibe with the X cost. There's a lot going on here that I really like. You know, even if you could cast this for like 2 or 3 mana and it could do a lot. And we kind of didn't have a card that really did that in Standard for a while. So I do like it, especially like cards like after like Path of Peril rotated, things like that. I think some of our other -2/-2 board wipes are also rotating. So like I think that's relevant, you know.
Black.
So yeah, 0 Point Ballad.
Black hasn't really had a cheap board wipe. I think all we have is a Deadly Cover-Up.
Yeah, there's Deadly Cover-Up. There's a 4-mana one, Drag to the Bottom, but you have to have Domain. So it's not that great.
And there's the Dragon that you can pay 2x. You can pay...
Meat Hook Dragon, yeah.
Yeah, Meat Hook Dragon, but that's not even that good. This is obviously better than that.
I think so. I think so, too. So yeah, I think 0 Point Ballad is very good. Yeah. I also like the flavor text. Beyond the super void, existence collapses into a singular point. We are all dead. We all live.
Very mono black thematic. There's a lot going on in this card. I'll give you a little bit of lore blurb. The mono black people want to feed the universe into a black hole because basically, if I can turn a phrase, all will be one. If everything in the universe collapses into a singularity at the bottom of a black hole, then everything is conjoined in one point.
Everything is everything.
Yeah. 0 Point obviously refers to 0 point energy and radiation. That is a quantum mechanical way of doing energy with the lowest amount of possible quantum fluctuation. It's really fucking complicated. My physics is way out of date and I can't explain it well, but it is a reference to a very cosmological phenomenon. But yes, this is obviously a reference. A lot of the black hole imagery that they have is because Sothara, they want to feed the universe into Sothara, the super void, because at that point, if everything is in a black hole, everything that you love, everything that you've lost, everything is in there. It has essentially emerged into one singular thing.
I think it's really sick, and I like that it's a ballad too. It makes me feel like it's like the end of the universe, and like Creed is just like having a concert in the background.
Well, yeah,
Stapp is singing. It's kind of funny.
There's a religious aspect to what they're doing. This is their faith that the black hole should be worshipped and fed. So they're obviously singing some sort of hymn of ultimate destruction to this super massive void.
And it's like their end game of like, their final prophecy, maybe, if you will, of how the world and the universe will end up.
By the way, this works really well with Maha.
Because it makes everything 1?
It makes everything's toughness 1.
That's cool. That's freaking sick. I like that.
Maha might have a comeback because if you drop Maha, you can kill everything on the board for
2 mana,
for
right?
2 mana and only lose 1 life. Which is pretty silly when you think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that just and that's where we talk about cards that aren't as playable as you would think, but they become playable later when something else comes out.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing is, it's also just creatures your opponents control.
Yes.
Not yours.
No.
So you can make that up. Yeah, like you were saying. Yeah, it's a board. It could be a one-sided board wipe too. Just looking at, looking at TCG Player, Maha is $6 right now. Started at over $10, $11, $12 when it first came out. I think it's $6 because there's probably combos with it in Commander, I imagine. So just putting it out there that if this combo becomes a thing, that maybe Maha goes up a lot in value. Just saying. So, if you wanted to do that, it's a really good time to buy your Mahas, which when I saw the price, it really made me consider getting a playset. Because, it's crazy.
It's a big crazy owl. What's not to like?
It's a big crazy. Yeah, it's a big. Also, the alt art is just beautiful on that one.
No,
the alt art is so good. But yeah, and actually, wasn't that when Bloomburrow came out, Jay? Wasn't that one of our cards?
It was one of our top picks. It never materialized because Bloomburrow went too goddamn fast.
Yeah,
the mice took it.
It was too many aggro cards.
There's too much aggro. Mice took it for fucking for too hard. So we couldn't do anything with it.
I totally agree. But yeah, very, very happy with that. Sticking
with the ballad theme, with the musical of the spheres. By the way, you can also go online and listen to what a black hole sounds like. It's very strange.
Almost sounds scary.
Yeah,
I feel like we listened to it in school one time.
They bring it up like 20 octaves because it's too low to normally hear. But it is emitting noise, which is disturbing. Anyways,
yeah.
Sticking with the theme of beautiful music, my number 1 pick for me is sticking. Obviously, these people love music and they love black holes and they love death. So literally me. So I'm going to pick Karl of the Void.
Ooh.
Talk about another sick sounding card. Karl of the Void. We have had a lot of anti-cards in the past. I am prepared to call this card. There's, anti-life gain, there's anti-card draw, there's anti-counterspell. There's a lot of cards that counter a lot of specific things. They kind of go against this. In my opinion, this is one of the first anti-reanimator cards. This is as popular and standard as Reanimator is. This is going to make people nervous, and that's what I want. And I want to punish them for that. I want to punish them for their hubris. I'll play whatever I want from my graveyard. No.
Right.
Brother, Karl of the Void is coming. 1 black and 3 aura. Enchant creature you control. When enchanted creature attacks, so this will activate right away on turn 4. Because I put it down on a creature and swing. Put target creature card from defending player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, tapped and attacking.
So good.
If they were on the play, or they were on the draw, and they just dropped their Valgavoth in their graveyard, they're like, oh, reanimate a Valgavoth, turn 4. I'm going to cast Zombify. No, you're not. Yeah. I'm playing Valgavoth. I'm going to steal whatever you've been loading your graveyard with and tap and attack with it immediately.
Beautiful.
You would be thinking, oh, well, Jay, of course it's going to say at the end of your turn, sacrifice it at the end of your turn. Nope. You just get it forever.
Oh, yeah, the actual creature? Yeah. You only sacrifice the enchantment the aura.
Here's the only downside.
I'll let you finish.
Oh yeah, it has the void ability. Yes, you were jumping ahead of me. You were warping ahead of me, perhaps even.
I was warping too fast.
He was warping and edging. Void. So this is the downside, is that this coral needs to be fueled by death. At the beginning of your end step, you have to sacrifice it unless a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped in. So you have to constantly either be warping or sacrificing things. Something needs to be leaving the battlefield every single turn for you to continue to have control over Coral of the Void. I don't feel like you're going to need Coral of the Void for that long if you've been forcing discard and removing things that you want to steal and bring back.
Very true.
You know, and I think that's ridiculous. So if you just have other tokens or something dies or whatever, you will keep stealing stuff out of the graveyard and attacking with it every turn.
Yeah. Here's my perfect scenario. So you have your 4 mana because it's turn forward, but you had your creature out. It's in the first 3 turns you got a treasure token somehow. Whatever, it's magic. So you sack your treasure token for the black mana. You do your temporal intervention. You thought seize the creature that you want to take from them into their graveyard. You spend your 4 mana to play Corral of the Void. You reanimate that creature, and then at the end of the turn, Void was triggered already from when you put the creature in the bin, and then boom, there you go.
What a perfect line. Select what you want, take it from them, and make it yours.
Yep.
What a terrible thing to do.
In the same turn.
And you want to know what else?
And slap them in the face with it while you're at it, right? That's also relevant.
Yeah. You tell them, I want you to watch while I do this.
Or if they kill it, or they block their own creature that you took.
Exactly.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just going to take it again next turn.
I'm going to take it again next turn. Exactly. Yeah. If anything left. We want to know something else that's fun about this, too, is that this is an enchantment. Guess who brings that back on turn 5?
The Angel Gal.
That Stelly Reclaimer. You're running Orzhov.
There you go.
Attack with it. Oh, maybe they kill it. Next turn, Coral of the Void goes out. I cast it. I cast a Stelly Reclaimer. Coral of the Void is recast from the graveyard, and I'm going to attack again.
Put it on the Reclaimer, too, because it has flying.
Yeah. It wouldn't have haste,
Game
though,
changer.
so you wouldn't be able to swing right away with it. But it is a persistent... It is not only, something like a Rest in Peace makes it hard to cast things from your graveyard. This card specifically punishes you for playing Reanimator. For putting good cards in your graveyard, you will be nervous. I want you to be nervous about putting good cards in your graveyard for the sole purpose of, they might be stolen and used against me.
And you force your opponent to really be timely with how they do all that stuff, too, then, you know? Like, you can't put something in the graveyard on your turn to set it up for the next turn, because I'm just going to take it. So you severely limit when they can fuel their graveyard, which, decreases the likelihood of the combo going off.
Exactly.
Very relevant.
So, very cool stuff. We have a ballad, we have a choral. Everyone is singing the hymn of the Black Hole. Very fun. Black Holes and Revelations. Great album. So, lightning round honorable mentions before we get to our tier 0.
Let's do it. You want me to start?
Shoot them off.
Arc Enemy Charm. Super
Not
good
bad.
in my opinion. Jay doesn't like it as much as I do, but he acknowledges it's fine.
It'll probably see play.
Exile a creature or planeswalker, 3 mana, really good. 3 black, but whatever, it's fine. I always got that. It's also a divination. You can just get back 2 creatures if you want. Or you can put 2 counters on creature and give it lifelink, which is one of the modes of Gix's command. The other one is also a mode of Gix's command where you get 2 things back. So it could effectively be, technically, if you chose those 2 modes, it's almost an instant speed Gix command.
Yeah.
Technically. It doesn't have all the same modes. But it does have the mode of, well, also you only get to pick one. But
you only get to pick one.
It's instant speed, and it's 3 mana. And I was telling Jay the reason it's good, you can hold up mana on your opponent's turn and think, oh man, he's going to kill whatever creature I play. Oh, not going to play the creature. You say, okay, that's fine. I'm going to get 2 creatures back from the graveyard since you played chicken on your turn. So you're still being proactive when you need to be, but you're also reactive as needed as well. And I think that's what makes the card good.
I think that we kind of debated putting about Alpha Rail the 5-drop
Yeah.
alpha reel that cuts half
Yeah.
your life in half. I feel like it's a little slow. I think that's why he didn't make the cut.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, as long as we have Slasher, it's like you probably just play Slasher instead.
we
But
also have Rush of Dread,
it's
which
cool.
does the same thing, but it only does it once.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But
So.
still, he does get the instant kill if you have the demon
Bloodletter.
out. Yeah, if you
Yeah,
have Bloodletter. So
There's also that. What is that? Grievous Wound does the same thing.
Grievous
right?
Wounds. We have a lot of
Yeah.
abilities that do that. He's still a creature.
Yeah.
He still has a pretty cool ward on him.
The ward is sick. The
ward
discard
is-
a card at random is sick.
Discard a card at random. So he's still good. I don't know if, again, honorable mention.
Yeah. I'll give him honorable mention, but he's not. He's sadly not making our top 11.
No.
So. Who else do I got for you? Mutinous Massacre. It's just fun. It's just a fun card, dude. Like it's like a what is it? Extinction event. It's like an extinction event, but then you take all the creatures that are left and you gain control and you swing with them. So it's a game ender.
It's
you
a
know?
game ender, yeah. It's
I
just
think
you have
that's
to
why-
you have to survive till round 7 to get it.
It's 7 mana. That's the kicker to it. But it's like, all right, man, this game's gone on long enough. I'm just gonna take all the creatures and I win. So I think it's fun. You know.
My last a couple of my last shout outs. I don't have time to list the amount of good fucking green landfall cards. Landfall is going to be fucking explosively powerful. There's like 5 good landfall cards, 5 good stompy green cards. I can't
And
even
the Green
list
Planet.
the green planet, the landers. Green landfall is poised to be probably one of the better aggro's now that red has been nerfed. Keep an eye out for anything that says landfall or lander in green. It's gonna be big. The only other one that I have before I jump back to you, I almost picked, which was weapons manufacturing, which is 1 red and 1.
Is that the munitions thing?
Yeah, that's the munitions
Yeah.
one. Whenever
Yeah,
a
that's
non-token
good.
artifact creature you control enters, you create an artifact named munitions, and whenever you sacrifice munitions, it deals 2 damage to any target. So if you have a
That's gonna go with my guy from earlier.
exactly, if you have any kind of artifact sacrifice, you can explode the whole board. Anytime that you have you'll have a munition stockpile.
Was that 4 damage?
It'll be 4 damage. Yeah, if you sacrifice
Crazy.
if you sacrifice an artifact. So you generate these artifacts as time goes on. Anytime that you're casting a non-token artifact, you generate one. All you need is a sacrifice outlet. You know, bring in whatever you want. Bring in the, like you said, bring in the fucking what's his name, Rotten Mouth Viper, and sacrifice 5 of them, and then they take 10 damage. You know,
And then he still has his ETB.
and he still has his ETB effect. So that's
gross.
Weapons manufacturing was really interesting to me. I don't normally like
Yeah.
cards like that, and I really like that card.
Yeah, for 2 mana, it's like a cool early setup.
It's
you know?
it's a great early setup. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cheap enough that I feel like it's good to just have it on the board if you're going to do it.
Yeah. I think my last one is the Dominion bracelet, and Jay was like, dude, in standard, that's not really going to do anything. but you put it on your Emrakul in Modern with Tron, your 15 power Emrakul, so then it reduces the cost of the ability to control your opponent for the next turn. I think you could effectively control your opponent for 2 turns in a row off of that, basically.
And if
that's why it's
if you can't win with an Emrakul and 2 turns of
controlling
them, you don't deserve to be playing Magic anymore. Just sell your cards. You know, if you haven't figured out how to do that, then it's Jover. It's never been more Jover. So should we get to our number 1? And this, let me tell you guys,
Let's do it.
This was a hard battle. We struggled with this.
It was more controversy. We were saying it was kind of like what was the last one? It was like Tarkir, where we had a hard time.
Yeah, picking our top.
Picking the top one, and in turn, we aren't sure if this is actually going to be the best card in the set, but it's the card that we are both most equally excited about, I guess is the best way to say it. Does that make sense?
This we had this was not one where we overlapped. We had real different directions we went in.
Yeah.
And that happens sometimes. I think with a couple, like I think was it Duskmore? We basically came with the same list, and we had to.
I think Duskmore was like super agree on the number 1 and 2 and 3. This was basically the only card that we both said is going to be good. I think this and Pain for All was the only 2. Yeah.
And I'll tell you what it is, guys. Or do you want to reveal it?
Go ahead.
The Numbest of Skulls.
Go ahead, man. You got it.
We're getting a ship on this, guys. We had to do a spacecraft as well because it's a new mechanic. Entropic Battle Cruiser. 1 black, 3. It is a 4-drop. It is a artifact spacecraft. It is a station. This is a whole different thing. The way that station works is you have to tap a creature to get the station number. This has station 1 and station 8. If you have tapped one creature to station at one time, and you can do this right away, by the way, whenever an opponent discards a card, they lose 3 life.
Fun.
Discard right now in Standard is probably one of the most played decks. Discard removal black is probably one of the top metas. I don't see how people are not putting this in here with as cheap as it is to station. A lot of these spaceships have like, oh, you have to station 6 before it activates. And it's like, well, what are we doing, man? A 1/1 token, you know, nothing. A 1/1 human token will station this thing at first and give you that ability. Whenever an opponent discards a card, they lose 1 life. By the way, that's not once a turn. That's every time they ever discard, they lose a life.
Yep. Every instance of it. Yeah.
The other thing, if you do get to station 8, it becomes an artifact creature, and it's a 3/10 flying death touch. And whenever this spacecraft attacks, each opponent discards a card. Each opponent who can't loses 3 life. So no matter what, they're going to lose 3 life if you attack with it.
Turgrid's Lantern, right?
It's like Turgrid's Lantern. It's like a weird space Turgrid's Lantern with a mechanic on it. I don't see how you're not at least putting 2 of these in your discard decks to make things worse for people as time goes on. Do you have any thoughts on it?
Well, I was just, and this is what made me think about it with the station ability. It's a tap outlet. We have all these, I think Duskmourn was the set that did it, right? Where if the creature's tapped after main phase 2, you get to do something.
Yeah, Survivor. Yeah.
So, yeah, you could do the Survivor mechanic with station, and then you could, you know, do whatever. Like Kona, you just put stuff on the board. Mm-hmm. So green-black with this, or just any station, really. Kona with any station, I think, is going to go crazy. But with this, you know, big thing here, this is non-legendary.
Oh, you can have multiple of these, yeah.
Yeah, so if you do have your Kona on the board, you could cast this, station with Kona, main phase 2, put another Entropic on the board. For free.
Yeah.
So there's stuff going here. I think it's pretty good.
And this turns a combo play that if you have a Bloodladder of Aclazotz and a Duress, they're losing 6 life.
6 life for Duress, yeah. and equally, like we were talking about with the Bandit's talent, you know, this makes it tough because you want to like hold cards so that you have 2 or more in hand for the Bandit's talent. Mm-hmm. But then now I can punish you for holding the cards too. Because now you lose 3 life if you hold them, and you lose 2 life if you don't hold them. So it's like a damned if you do, damned if you don't when you couple this with Bandit's talent.
Yeah.
Equally, a lot of good black 4-drops are going to rotate. Archfiend, Sholdred. That's enough to say that we need more good 4-drops in Standard to begin with.
Yeah, Archfiend of the Dross and Sholdred are leaving, so...
But that's just the first 2 that come to mind. And I know this isn't a creature. Well, actually, it can become a creature. It can become a creature
later in the game.
But yeah, so that's just something to consider, and especially in a discard deck. You historically did not need a ton of creatures in that type of deck. You get a lot of value creatures when you do have the discard, and you cast them when your opponents have no cards in hand, and the board's clear so they can't deal with it, and then that's how you finish the game. You don't just, like, in, like when you played, what do you call it? Like when I played Waste Not in Pioneer,
yeah,
I generally didn't actually cast Sholdred on turn 4, because that was still at a time in the game where they would have a chance to deal with it. I waited till when I dragged the game on turn 6, 7, 8. You have no cards in hand. You're top decking.
Yeah, you have no way to, and it's going to punish you for card drawing. Yeah,
I have my Gaia Reach Sanitarium. I'll let you draw cards and discard when you have no cards in hand, so you lose 2 life, and then I get value off Waste Not. So there's little things that you do, and that was when you would, you know, cast the Sholdred. So you're not exactly like casting the Sholdred to be out on turn 4 and swing with it every turn. Most of the time, you don't swing with Sholdred every turn.
No.
So it was almost like you just obviously there was the intimidation of a death touch creature with high toughness, but outside of that, I mean, this thing also is going to have death touch when you make it an actual creature. So that's a thing. Once again, high toughness again. So I think that becomes a little more relevant. And this, I don't want to say it's a Sholdred replacement, but I think it's good. I think it's good.
Absolutely. So. And I think that in addition, I even like to play this with like Insatiable Avarice to force people to draw cards and then rip them out.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah.
You make them draw cards so they have them in their hand and then they lose life. And then you say, okay, now I'm going to play a Duress and a Bandit's Talent on top of that. And
yeah, you make them discard it, yeah.
So force draw, force discard. You can really juggle people with this.
Let me get a Go Blank reprint, huh?
There we go. You love that card.
Dude, Go Blank is so sick. It's such a cool name. And also, don't you think it would be pretty apt to be in a space set? Go Blank.
I think that we should. Why didn't we get a reprint of Invoke Despair while we're at it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, I love that card.
Give me that shit. Yeah, but yeah. So there's our number one.
There's our number zero,
if you
will.
The
one we agreed on. What is yours? What do you like? What do you not like? Are you excited for this? What's your favorite?
Yeah.
We want to hear from you in the comments, in the chat.
Absolutely.
Check it out. It's coming. We're both going to be in early access. Both of our Twitch links are down below. Follow us. Hit that bell.
Absolutely.
We're going to be building decks like crazy and doing the stuff. We'll see you in the void,
sir.
guys.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you out there with the rest of the Edgers. Oh, I'm calling this meeting of the Black Council to close. I forgot to say that. Bye.
I'm Numbskull. That's Jay. You've been great.